Hello everyone, welcome back. This is going to be part 3 of me modeling this revolver. It's been a long time coming, but I've just been very busy doing other things and life catching up. But this is it, and let's get to it. I messed around a little bit with it to see, how I might want to do this. Wasn't sure at first. Um, So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try my hand at modeling the body, and we're going to see if we can get that done today in this video. So what I think I am going to do is I'm going to use this edge right here. Oh, not right there. This edge right here. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to move it up just a tad just so I can see it. I'm going to break it out. Let me turn screencast keys on so that you guys can actually see what I am doing. Go into orthographic. And I think what I will do is I will just extrude it on the Z, and we're just going to bring it up till it's like that, perhaps. I think that's probably fine. I think this is going to be scale Z0. I want to flatten that out. We're going to bring that down. We're going to take this edge right here, and we're going to extrude that on the Y, and we just want to bring it out to about right there. And maybe bring it in a little bit more. We want to make sure it's perfectly straight up and down. I think that's going to be scale X0, maybe. Maybe it's scale Y. Maybe it's perfectly straight already and I don't need to do that. Okay, so now what I think we want to start doing, actually I'm going to back up. I'm not actually going to extrude that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it because I don't want that extra line in there. So let's just move it. Make sure it's perfectly flat. Let's go ahead and merge everything by distance. Go back into object mode, rotation and scale, just in case. All right, so how do I want to get this shape going on? I think what we're going to do is we're going to follow the same sort of deal that we did with everything else. We are going to throw in some loop cuts and sort of shape it out. But the first thing I want to do is if we look at this line, it's not exactly matching up. So let's go ahead, 1 for vertex selection. Let's just move this up. I think that's probably good enough. We can adjust some things later on once we get the shape going down and doing all that. So, all right. So, do I want to start from the bottom or do I want to start from the top? That's going to be, we don't need that. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to dissolve that edge right there. So we should just have this shape. And I'm going to start just throwing in loop cuts. We'll maybe start with that, and we'll just start bringing things back, shaping it up. I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to pull this to about right there, and then I'll pull this to about right there. I'm selecting the edge, pushing S for scale, and then Z to scale on the Z, and then I'm pressing 0 to straighten them out. If you look over here on the screencast, you can follow along with the keys that I am pressing to do this. All right. Now I think I want to take this. I want to make sure edge snapping's on. I want to pull this down, try and snap it to that edge, but it doesn't seem to want to go. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to turn vertex and see if I can't snap this to this vertex. And that looks like it's pretty lined up. Okay, 2 back to edge selection. So I got a rough shape for it, but we still need to shape it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in some more edge loops. I'll put one there, put one there. put one there, put one there, put one there. And then we'll just do the same thing. We're going to go into vertex selection, just kind of bring some of these points out. Take this point, bring it in. Okay. And so we want to snap that to that edge. I'll probably need to put another one right here. So let's do this. Let's try putting a subdivide on it. Let's see, it's gonna give us that right there, and I don't really want that. I guess I could use that little line right there, but it's not entirely what I want. So, what we'll do is I'll just select that SY0. We'll straighten that out. We'll keep it there for right now. And we're going to go back into vertex, and we're just going to keep putting these where they need to go. All right. Well, not exactly perfect, but I think it's probably fine for right now. I can always go back and adjust things and do all that. But what we want to do now is we actually want to subdivide it in the z-axis, because if we look, it's got roundness to it. It's not just flat. And so I have to make a decision, I suppose, which is, how do I want to do that? Do I want to break this up into multiple parts and then just join them together? I imagine that might be the easier way to do it, but all the videos I see on YouTube and stuff, all the tutorials, I mean, they show just making everything as a single part. Obviously, I'm not doing it that way, because I've found breaking it up into multiple meshes to be easier for me at my current skill level. So we have to decide, all right, well, how do we want to do this? Do we want to bring it down to here and then, do the roundness of it? But then also we have to remember that the entire thing isn't round. Just this part where the cylinder would sit, that's going to be round. But like down here, part of this part of the frame, that's actually flat. So we need to see, okay, well, how are we going to get that sort of effect? I did consider just building this bottom part of the frame just separately, but I don't know. That's obviously not the way that I'm going about it right now. So let's do this. Let's add a bunch of loop cuts here. We're gonna have to go through and probably, let's see, how do I want to do this actually? I got to think about this. I'm gonna put one there, straighten that out, and I'm gonna move that so that we can get the area that the cylinder actually goes into sort of blocked out. And then let me subdivide this. Yeah, I'll put some loop cuts there. How many do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put some there. And then, okay, so what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and bring this, let's set the origin to the geometry. Let's rotate it on the Z. Whoops. Rotate Z 90 degrees. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, do I not have just that selected? Rotate Z 90. There we go. And we're going to bring it down. And we're going to try and get it lined up perfectly in the center of this to see if maybe we can just mirror it when we're ready to so I think that is dead center right there. And then we'll bring it down just a tad. Like that. Maybe not, because we want it to be lined up. Whoops. We want it to be lined up just like that. I'm going to actually go into edit mode. It's a little bit easier to see. And what I'll do is I'll just extrude it out on the Y until it hits right there. Since I know that's the thickness that I need. And then I will grab these vertices and I'll bring them in. And then I'll just go through and I will make the shape of this. Okay, so I mean we have a shape. It's looks okay, I think. Let's go ahead and go back and yeah, that's pretty much the shape we want. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to bring it back up and put it into position. So scale Z -90. And we're going to try and see if we can't. So GY, snap it to there. GZ. Oh, what happened there? That's a little irksome. What did we do wrong there? I think. Okay, well. All right, well, let's see how it kind of looks. We're not exactly, there we go. Yeah. Although we do have an issue, which is this. So what we're going to need to do is we need to select this. And we need to hold, oh, well, that's not going to work. So we've found a little bit of an error right here. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that because this needs to line up with here, but I'm thinking maybe I extruded it a little bit too much. Let's go back into here. Let's see if we can just get these points and move those over. But if we do that, so we're going to have to maybe so first hurdle of the day, to be expected. We want this to be centered. And so let's see, do we have any kind of center line? So this edge should center directly with that edge. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, I'm going to select this. And I'm going to see if I can move it on the X until it is just like that. Bam. Just like that. Now, let's see here. This needs to be flat. That's the one issue that I can see at the moment, is because this part right here should be coming into that. But I have a feeling that if we just try to select these and then straighten them out and then pull them in, it's going to kind of mess things up. Yeah, it's going to give us some garbage right there, which we really don't want. So I'm thinking maybe I would have to round this entire thing out. Let's see here. Let's see how I can maybe get this to go. Let's so that's not going to work. I may just keep it like that, adjust it maybe a little bit. Not entirely sure how I would go about doing that. That's kind of why I was originally thinking of, we already shade smooth? Yeah. Let's think. I think I'm going to stick with that. I'm not going to flatten that out. I think this will be fine. One thing I am going to need to do is cut the notch, because there's going to be a notch that goes straight down like that. So I guess I could use a boolean for this. But I don't know how bad that's going to sort of mess everything up, you know? They're pretty destructive, but or I could try and use the knife tool, see if I can't just cut something out of there. Yeah, see, these are decisions that we have to make, because the notch has, because we have to have the hammer, the place for the hammer, which is going to be up here. Probably like, let's see here. Yeah, the hammer's going to go all the way to the top. So, how's the hammer looking on that? Yeah, the hammer looks like that. So the notch would have to start right here. Okay. How do I want to do that? Let's see. Let's perhaps, if we line this up. Okay, I have an idea. We're going to use the knife tool, right? Let's go back. Let's look at it. So we want to come down to this one right here. So well, no, we want to come down to this. So I'm going to take this, and I'm actually going to move it to that edge right there. Maybe not, because that's going to ruin the... Nah, that's fine. We'll go like that. bring it to that edge. Oh, I'm still in vertex. I don't want to be in vertex. Let's go to edge selection. Let's bring this down to that edge. And we'll scale it on the X just a little bit to bring back a little bit of roundness, because we're going to cut this out, so that's not going to be seen. But like that, we'll take the knife tool, and we will go from this vertex down on the Z to this one. We'll make a cut right there, and then, okay, so it's going to come to right about there. So we're going to need to actually straighten from here up. So we'll select from there, and we'll come down to here. Why isn't that? It's not what I wanted to select. So we want to select these, and we want to straighten these. So SX, no, it'd be SY0, and we'll move these over. All right, let's delete those faces. And now what I think I'm gonna do, I just realized that we're gonna have to put a mirror on this, and this may or may not mess that up a little bit. So let's actually try applying the mirror. Let's go back here. Might want something kind of centered. Yeah, I guess that's centered. So let's click this. Let's go add modifier. Generate a mirror. We're gonna want it on the, oh, well, we missed a step because we want the 3D cursor, and go to the Y. Now, is that overlapping at all? It doesn't look like it's overlapping. In the notch actually looks pretty decent. It looks pretty decent. Oh, wait. I didn't come down enough with that, so let's do that. What's that right here? What's going on right there? That's X. Like that. And so the notch just comes down to right there. So let's go back to our knife tool. Let's take this Z, bring it down to there, cut that out. Go back to select. Go back to 3 for face select, and let's, come on, 3 for face select. Let's select these faces. Let's delete those. Yeah. Now, we've got our notch, but we need to figure out how we're going to go about, we're going to need something in between. I don't know, let me see here. Let me think about this. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide the mirror for the time being. I'm going to delete all of these faces, this entire side, because we're not going to need them since it's going to be hidden. So that's going to give us that. Now, what I want to do is, I know I'm going to delete those faces too, but I'm focusing on this at the moment. I need this to actually come up. Let's see here. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so I need this entire edge loop to come up and snap to there. And that's gonna give us that, but we can fix that. We can deal with that, and that makes it a little bit more. Yeah, that's fine. We can maybe fix that, maybe not. Maybe I'll just like that and add another edge loop right there. Well, I can't actually do that because maybe I'll just pull that up. I'm gonna get rid of that anyway. I just need this for so what I want to do is select this edge. I guess it didn't actually extrude it into Z, snap it to that. Whoa. I want to make sure it's on that edge, not some other edge. And then extrude it in the Y, extrude Y, and snap it there. And that will give us our thing, except it's not exactly straight now, is it? So we need to, that's because that's not exactly straight, but that's fine. So S scale Z0. Let's go ahead and merge just to make sure. GZ, snap to there, and then extrude in the Y and snap it to there. And then go back to here and merge everything by distance. And then edge select that, slap a face in there, and then let's turn our mirror back on. Hey, look at that. That's not too terrible, if I say so. It's not the best, I will admit. The way I'm doing things probably isn't the most ideal way to do them, but you know, I'm learning as I go. So we have that. What we're going to do now, the last thing we're going to do for this video, because this video's dragged on a long time, is we are going to cut out the slots for the cylinder. And so that's going to be like that. But you see, we have kind of an issue, it looks like. It looks like we have to take this edge loop. Well, I guess not, huh? Because it's lined up here. I wish I should have probably found a better reference photo. Because it's reference photos. I mean, it's the actual blueprint to the gun, but man, it's terrible for modeling off of. Okay, so let's see. Perhaps we'll just bring it right there. Yeah, let's bring it right there. We'll call it good. Go back into face select. Well, face select those. Maybe bring this one actually down just a tad. It's right there. Face select. Face select these. Delete. Delete the faces. Go back into solid. And we have that. And now all we need to do is we'll just go like that. And we need to select. Ooh, wait a second. How are we going to fill this? Right. Okay. How do we want? Well, we would have to apply the mirror, I think. What's this? What in the world is that? Yeah, that's not right. That's SX0. We want that to be straight. We actually want this entire thing to be straight. It's looking a little weird. SX0. Straighten all that out. Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna have to apply the mirror. And so I think I will do that. We will apply this mirror. That will give us that. And now we should We may have to join a couple things. We'll have to join this with this, so we'll slap a face there. And then this with this, slap a face there. Let's see. That with that, slap a face there, and then this, and a face there, and then we'll want to select these edges, put a face there, select these edges, and put a face there, and then go around and select this entire edge, because I don't think, oh, well, right on, let's put a face there. Go like that, and make sure we didn't select anything we don't want, and put a face there. All right. So that is, that's sort of the body, you know, the main body of the gun. It's not finished yet. You know, we're definitely going to have to go in next video and tidy some things up, clean it up. It's not going to look exactly like some of the, you know, like the physical reference that I'm looking at. Physical reference I'm looking at has some strange I guess I could probably do a Boolean right there. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure it out next video, but this is what we have. And yeah, I don't think it turned out that bad. It took longer than it probably should have, but you know, learning experience. We could go through real quick before we call it a wrap, and we could start beveling some of these with just a slight bevel. Nothing too extreme. Maybe even with just two. Yeah, we'll do, yeah, with just two. Do a slight bevel there. Because these are supposed to be hard, sort of harder edges. This is a metal piece, so you know, do a slight bevel here, something like that. You know, maybe bevel these, because these should be, maybe not. Maybe don't bevel that. Let's actually look at it like that. Bevel this. Actually, you know what? Let's back up and let's do everything at once. Let's not do things separately. Bevel that. Bevel that. And just make sure we get everything. And then we'll just, bevel, you know, maybe I will do three. That would give us something like that. And we're going to go in on the inside here. And I want to apply scale and rotation. Select everything, merge everything by distance, make sure we don't have. And we'll bevel this. We'll bevel these pieces right here. You know, we'll just do three on everything. Why not? You know, so I think what I want to do is actually do the verticals first. Let's see how that turns out. And we'll do everything with three. And select these edges. Ooh, I forgot that top edge. We gotta go back. Yeah, I forgot this edge. We're gonna want to do that. And then this bottom one too. Get all these hard edges beveled. Make sure I didn't miss anything. And we'll just, let's see, we got three. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I'll just kind of give it a little something. Then we'll come in here and we'll do these inside edges. And then that's probably be it for this video. Let's see how that, yeah, that's fine. I'll go like that. Let's go ahead and actually do the inner edges of this. We will bevel those. Let's get all of them. Get all of these and bevel these. Ooh, what's going on there? Okay, so we have something going on here. Let's check our faces because Oh, I already have face orientation on, so we know that's not the issue. Let's try beveling these. Let's see if maybe that's what's causing that little minor shading. Yeah, okay. We'll bevel this like, do I have an extra? I think I may actually have an extra, wait a second. Wait a second. These vertices aren't actually lined up, so let's merge. Let's grab that, press M, merge by last. And I think, yeah, these never joined, I don't think. I think we had two here, right? Merge by distance. Is there two there? No, okay. Okay, so there's not two there. Okay, let's try our bevel again. Let's go like this, go like that, go like that, and let's bevel. There, that looks like it's turning out a little bit better. Select these, select that. Maybe select this top edge here. Ooh, wait a second, what happened there? Okay, so that was that bevel. What happens if I go to bevel that again? That's gonna create some garbage. So let's not do that. Let's leave that like that, and just do a slight bevel on that. Okay, let's exit that. I do want to get this. I want to get that sharper edge, and we'll just go like that. All right. I think I have everything beveled and everything smoothed out. All the harder edges anyway. I didn't do this bottom edge. I did that side, but I didn't do this side or this back one. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Make sure it didn't mess anything up. Yeah, this isn't lining up. I'm wondering if I could actually, I should actually, let's try dissolving that. And then we should have an extra one on this side, right? No, we don't, because I beveled all of this together. Let's just go back. And what we'll do is we'll just fix these, I suppose, real quick. So we will probably need a knife tool for this, huh? Does that create any kind of shape? That does, kind of, huh? Okay, well, let's see, how would I fix that? Because I didn't pay attention when I was beveling. Let's see here. So we have this not connecting to anything. Ideally, we'd want this connecting to here and this connecting to there. So I think that's what I will do. So let's go like this, merge by last, and then we'll take this, and we will join those, take this, and dissolve that edge. It's a little funky looking, but let's zoom in, see if we can't sort of, maybe if I just, well, I wouldn't want to move it up. And I actually want to merge everything by distance, get rid of all those GG, and we'll slide it like that. Maybe GG, slide this one like that. Yeah, okay. All right, so that's going to be the end of this video. We got the body of the gun all shaped out, doing what it needs to do. In the next video, we will start off, adding a little bit more detail to the body, getting a little bit more shapes on there, figuring out how to do that anyway, and then hopefully we will get to the trigger guard. And yeah, so I will see you next time. Goodbye.